in our neighborhood that doesn't allow us to.
There you go. Give them poodle cuts. That's right.
Am I starting? Hi, I'm Kim Harrison from Ruxville Farm in Moseley, Virginia. These are some of my fall-born ram lambs that I brought for the shearing demonstration today. I raise natural colored and white merino sheep on my farm. We have 3 colors. Just 2 of them are here, the white and the black. We also have a moret, which is like a chocolate color. And I am also a spinner and a weaver and a knitter. Mostly I weave, and I make stuff from my own wool. And I do all the weaving myself, I do all the sewing myself, I do all the dyeing myself when I dye yarn. I make a lot of stuff from just the natural colored wool, but even the natural colored wool is really interesting to overdye. I do all the care of the sheep myself. I do have a professional shearer because the wool is the valuable stuff we get off these animals, so I don't want to mess it up, so I hire Emily to come shear. She's really great. My daughter helps me when she's home from college, but mostly I do all the feeding and caring. We vaccinate, trim feed, and treat any ailments. I do all the lambing myself, haul hay, break ice in water buckets, and then I send the wool out to be spun, but then when it comes back I do all the weaving myself. I make a very heavily fulled wool fabric that I then cut up into jackets and mittens and hats, anything else I can think of. I like to experiment with the natural colors. I like to experiment with different shapes of fabric that I make and different weave structures. But mostly I just really like that feeling of having my hands in it from the beginning to the end. You know, I've raised these sheep for generations. We have ewes on our farm that are, you know, we've had their great grandparents that we started with 20 years ago on this farm. So these ram lambs here are the result of many years of breeding and selection for a really nice fine fleece, and also a health aspect. We like a ewe that does well on our pasture and takes care of her lambs, and it's really a bonus if she has 2 of them at a time. Thanks.
You said you do fold fabric. Can you explain what that is and what the advantage is?
Yes, I do what you're not supposed to do to wool. After I weave the fabric, it's actually, the wool is very soft because it's merino, but the fabric is not very tight, you know? And the hand is not what you would like for some things. So I put it in the washing machine with hot water and soap. And you have to be careful because the merino will felt into a board very quickly if you don't watch it. But basically I want it to tighten up a little bit. And my fabric, if I weave a piece of fabric that's 60 inches wide, I might only wind up with a 45 inch wide piece of fabric when I'm done, because it shrinks that much. But then it's very dense and tight, and I can cut it without it raveling. And it also blocks the wind a lot better than a knitted fabric, which is, you know, nothing against knitting. I love to knit, but it's loops, you know. The advantage of doing the fulling of the fabric, you know, people like to knit things extra large and then shrink them down, which is fun, but you never really know how small it's going to be. But if I take the yardage and I full that, it's already shrunk, and then I can cut it out just the size I want, and then I always know what size I'm going to get, unless I just accidentally fold the fabric too much and it shrinks so small that I can't do what I wanted with it. But then I make something else. Pot holders. Pot holders are good when you shrink your fabric too much.
Okay, so say your name again and the name of your farm.
Kim Harrison at Ruxville Farm. My website is Ruxville Farm Fiber Arts.
Thank you.